Hi, what I'll be introducing today is two-point perspective. And as similar to one-point perspective, you're going to have a horizon line. And what's different than one-point perspective is you're going to have two vanishing points as opposed to one vanishing point. So the first thing I'll do is place the vanishing point on the pages. And this is somewhat of an arbitrary drawing, and I'm not necessarily drawing from nature. Oftentimes your vanishing points will extend off the page, and they may not even be on the page itself. So some of the drawing or figure may look a little distorted because of that, but if you were drawing, say, a city scene in real life, oftentimes the vanishing points would extend off the page. So with one-point perspective, we looked at the front face as being the first part of the object that we would draw. In two-point perspective, the first portion of the object that is drawn would be the corner or the edge that is closest to you. And so if I'm going to be drawing a box in two-point perspective, I'm going to draw the corner of the edge first. And now this is a box that is going to be fairly large, and it's neither above the horizon line or above our eye level, nor is it fully below the horizon line or our eye level. So I'm not going to see the top or the bottom of this box that we're going to be recreating. So for this side, it will always vanish to this vanishing point. And at this side, as similar, it'll vanish to this vanishing point. And for this side here, it will recede to this vanishing point. And likewise with that. So then as I pick and choose and find the side of this box, which is vertical and parallel with this front edge, just as this one is parallel with that front edge. We now have this box that is drawn in two-point perspective. So we have the front edge here, and we have the two sides then that are receding into space. Now if this were a cityscape or a drawing of a building on a street, we could continue to draw in the elements of this building. So what we'll do is I'll draw a couple of windows here, and they're once again parallel with that front edge. I'm just kind of capturing the sides, and they are receding, the tops of these windows are receding to the vanishing points. Oftentimes one of the mistakes is to draw these parallel with the horizon line, but these always need to be receding back to this as they move along the horizon. So this can be a window, and maybe we'll place a large door here. Vertical, but this needs to once again recede to the vanishing point because it is on this side, and we'll keep the vertical there as well. So as we keep this cityscape going, maybe we'll have this be the intersection of a road. And so we'll have the corner of the road right here. This side will recede to the vanishing point, and this side will recede to the that vanishing point. We can have a sidewalk that comes to a corner. It would maybe be even with that. And as you move through these sidewalk blocks, they're all going to recede to this vanishing point. And I haven't figured out the mathematical ratio as these reduce back into space. There is a way to figure that out, but for the sake of ease of this exercise, we'll just kind of put them in as they all recede back to that vanishing point. And the same is here on this side. You have that corner brick. And you can see how that will go into space. So now we have this sidewalk here with a curve and into the street. So I'll put some street lines here. Now maybe we'll have a crosswalk that goes right across here. Painted in the street. And we'll have some painted lines that go down the road as well. So as we look at this perspective, and as we look to these as they vanish to these lines, or these lines vanish to those points, as long as the top portion of the box or the building is even or parallel with this, it's going to recede to this vanishing point. Now if we were going to have a larger building in the background, maybe it was going to start right here. You can maybe have that front corner, that front edge, but it goes higher than that other edge. And so we're going to see it in the background a little more. And I'll place the vanishing line first. And we can place this larger image in this larger building. So now we have this portion of this spot right here, and this is going to have to recede to this vanishing point because it is on this side. So it's an important aspect. So this alleyway here is then created, and it's not just a random line that's placed in there. This edge does recede back to that vanishing point, as well as that top edge recedes back to this vanishing point. And now we're assuming that this side of the building goes behind this to where we don't see the edge. But that's creating, again, another box or another building for this vanishing point. Now let's place so we can actually see the top of something. We'll place a small box that was maybe just left on the side of the road. And once again, I'll start with the first edge, and we'll recede the sides or these edges back to the vanishing point as they go always go back to that point. And once again, that'll go back to that point. And now what differs from this box from the previous two buildings that were drawn was the fact that it's completely below the horizon line. So you have the horizon line, which is right here, that comes across. Well, this box is completely below that. So we're going to see the top of this box. Because our eye level is higher than the box itself, we're going to see the top of it. So we got to make sure that that's drawn in there. So the edge that's parallel with this edge, which is this back edge, goes to this vanishing point. And then the edge that is parallel with this edge goes back to that vanishing point. And then that creates our back edge. And then therefore you see the top of this box placed in there. And you can continue to add and create and do different things if you're creating a cityscape that is kind of based out of imagination. But as you record and look in nature or look at actual objects, you're able to find these points and place them as they fall into this 2D perspective, which creates a realistic drawing of these architectural objects.